Welcome to Books and Storytime by mybooksummary.com. Let's explore The Light That Never Fades, A Mother's Love. In a quaint little town, nestled among rolling hills, there stood an old, creaky house. Unlike the others, it appeared weary, with its windows clouded and doors that moaned with each gust of wind. This house was home to a kind-hearted woman named Miss Thompson, an elderly lady with curly gray hair and gentle blue eyes. She was often seen wearing a faded floral dress and moving with a slow, deliberate grace, as if each step carried a story. Miss Thompson lived a solitary life. Long ago, she had a son named Oliver, who was the light of her life. Their days were filled with laughter as they baked cookies together, shared stories, and enjoyed the cozy warmth of their home. Miss Thompson would tuck Oliver into bed each night, singing lullabies that drifted through the halls like soft whispers of love. However, one day when Oliver grew older, he announced he needed to leave their small town for the bustling city to pursue his dreams. "I promise I'll return soon, Mom," he said with a bright smile, squeezing her hand. Though Miss Thompson felt a heavy ache in her heart, she didn't stop him. She kissed his forehead and waved goodbye, watching him disappear down the road. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, but Oliver never came back. Each day, Miss Thompson would sit by the window, hoping to catch a glimpse of her son. She would prepare his favorite meals, setting the table for two, even though only one plate was ever used. As the years wore on, Miss Thompson became more withdrawn, her laughter fading into silence. Villagers occasionally saw her wandering through her garden, talking softly to the flowers. "Oliver, where are you?" she would call into the wind, but only echoes returned. The townsfolk felt a deep sympathy for her. They knew she was waiting for Oliver, yet many believed he had forgotten her. Some thought he had built a new life far away, while others whispered that something had gone wrong. One stormy night, something extraordinary happened. The villagers noticed a warm glow emanating from Miss Thompson's old house. It wasn't just any light. It shimmered like a lantern, casting a gentle warmth that seemed to breathe life into the weary walls. They were astonished, for Miss Thompson had always been cautious with candles, fearing they might cause a fire. The following morning, the lantern's glow remained, filling the house with a soft radiance. Intrigued yet apprehensive, the villagers decided to check on Miss Thompson. They knocked on her door, but there was no answer. They knocked again, louder this time, but silence enveloped the house. Finally, the door creaked open, revealing the mysterious light within. The air was chilly, but the light was comforting. It beckoned them to follow its glow into the living room, where they found Miss Thompson seated in her favorite chair, eyes closed, a serene expression on her face. Yet, something was wrong. She wasn't moving. One villager gently touched her hand, only to find it cold as ice. It dawned on them that Miss Thompson had passed away, still waiting for her beloved son. The villagers mourned her loss, but they also felt relief that she was no longer suffering. They organized a heartfelt burial, allowing her to rest in peace. Yet, the warm glow did not vanish. It lingered in the house, illuminating the nights that followed. The villagers speculated it might be a sign or a lingering spirit, still watching for Oliver. As time went by, the tale of Miss Thompson transformed into a cherished legend in the town. People spoke of the kind woman who waited for her son and the lantern that never dimmed. Some claimed they could hear her sweet voice calling for Oliver, while others insisted they saw her silhouette peering through the window, still searching for him. One day, a weary traveler arrived in the town. He was tall, with dark hair and tired eyes, as if he had journeyed for days. The villagers watched as he asked about the old house. "Do you know Miss Thompson?" he inquired. A villager stepped forward and recognized him immediately. "Are you Oliver?" they asked. He nodded, tears glistening in his eyes. Oliver had finally returned, but he was too late. The villagers shared the heartbreaking news, and Oliver's heart shattered into pieces. He hurried to the old house, where the lantern still glowed. Inside, everything was just as his mother had left it. Two plates on the table, one untouched, and the familiar chair by the window sat empty. Falling to his knees, Oliver wept for his mother, for the moments they had lost, and for the pain she must have felt waiting for him. He cried until his eyes ran dry. As his sorrow flowed, the lantern's light grew even brighter, wrapping him in warmth and comfort, as if his mother were holding him tight. Oliver felt her presence, and in that moment, he knew she was still with him, still waiting. "I'm so sorry, Mom," he whispered, his voice trembling. "I didn't come back sooner." The lantern flickered, as if it understood his pain. For days, Oliver remained in the house, talking to his mother, sharing stories of his life in the city and how much he missed her. One night, the light began to fade. Oliver realized that his mother had finally found peace. She had waited long enough, and now she could rest. The following morning, the lantern was extinguished, and the house returned to its quiet, lonely state. Oliver left the town, but he carried his mother's love with him, vowing never to forget her. The villagers never saw the lantern again, but they kept the story of Miss Thompson alive. They learned that love transcends even the boundaries of life and death, and that Miss Thompson and her son were finally reunited in a place where they could never be apart again. Sometimes we wait for those we love, not realizing that they are always with us, even when we can't see them. Love never truly leaves us. It remains in our hearts forever. Have you ever felt the presence of someone you love, even when they are not with you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybooksummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends, and let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.